You throw it up, you lick it up.
I'm at my wit's end.
The glyphs hold the key. It is good to see you again, warrior. I want to thank you once more for protecting our abbey the night that Manimarco attacked. The fire of my gratitude still burns bright. But I digress. I have need of your aid once more. A former student requires my assistance, but I cannot do what is necessary on my own. You have heard that dragons threaten elsewhere? We seek the wisdom of the ancient Dragon Guard, who once hunted them nearly to extinction. In their tombs, I'll search one, you the other, using this Dragon Guard seal. The seal will activate 3 glyphs that will reveal the entrance to the tomb. Between the both of us, I pray we find the wisdom my student seeks. Will you help me? Find the 3 glyphs in Othrenis. Let me mark the locations on your map, along with where I think the hidden tomb lies. I prepared notes as well. Feel free to take them with you. It's an heirloom my former student provided. It contains a minor enchantment that reveals hidden glyphs. I imagine it was once used as a way to pass along secret information. Now, we will use it to find the hidden Dragon Guard tombs. We can discuss that later. Right now, we have our own tasks to accomplish. Remember, the dragons are already loose and elsewhere. Just know that my former student seeks a way to fight those great beasts before the damage is undone.
This is taking longer than I thought. You want me to run you in? Would I get fed?
It appears you were as successful as I. Did your tomb contain anything of note? Interesting. I found a similar map, but to a different location. This might be exactly what my former student was hoping for. Will you come with me to the Abbey of Blades? The damage was mostly superficial, though there is still much work to do to fully restore the Abbey. My most accomplished student will meet us there. We can give him the maps to both sanctuaries, and he can decide on the next course of action. I think it best if my student introduces himself, in his own way. Here, you should carry both maps and present them to him yourself. Come, I acquired horses to speed us on our journey. We can depart for the Abbey of Blades as soon as you're ready. Follow me, warrior. I find the view from this approach most inspiring. Behold, my home and heart, the Abbey of Blades. Many blade masters earned their titles on these hallowed grounds. My student waits inside. I think he'll be pleased to receive the maps you carry.
My old friend, Kasura sent word of your imminent arrival. Welcome back to the Abbey of Blades. It's good to see you again, Vestige. Ready to once again answer Tamriel's latest cry for help? I returned to the Abbey to help Kasura rebuild. I'm not much of a carpenter, but I do what I can. When the dragons invaded elsewhere, I knew my duty was to fight against them. I began to search for the wisdom of the ancient Dragon Guard. Yes. The maps appear to be the right age. The sanctuaries they lead to may well contain the knowledge and relics I seek. We must visit these sites as soon as possible. I just need a little time to study them and determine their orientation. Speak to Kasura. She uncovered an ancient Dragon Guard tool known as a grappling bow. Such a device may prove useful in our journey to come. Why don't you try to figure out how to best utilize it? Find Kasura near the entrance to the training hall, just north of here. She has a grappling bow that you can train with. Meanwhile, I'll study the maps you've found and make ready for our journey. Our grand battle within the Daedric realm. I was ready to lay down my life to protect Tamriel from Molag Bal's dark schemes. Then the battle was done. I was looking for a new purpose when I heard that dragons had returned to elsewhere. A noble goal, wouldn't you agree, Vestige? Evil must be defeated. Innocence must be protected. And so we continue to fight. At this point in time, I know of no greater evil than the dragons that rampage over elsewhere. As far as I know, I'm the last of the Dragon Guard. Once my duty was to protect the Emperor and defend the Empire. Now I must carve a new path from the legends of old. Now I prepare to hunt dragons. Someone needs to take up the mantle. Besides, faith and legends go hand in hand. They are the whetstone that sharpens my blade. Let us see where my faith in no legends takes us before we dismiss the notion that my predecessors were dragon slayers. Meet with me by the stables after you speak with Kasura.
Warrior, did Sai-Sahan find the maps as interesting as I expected? Ah, yes, the grappling bow. A most useful device. Like someone combined a crossbow with a grappling hook. Loose it at a grappling point, and the chain retracts to drag you toward it. So we believe. The device requires incredible skill, however. So far, none of my students have mastered it. Why don't you give it a try? Gather the grappling bow from behind the statue next to the stables, then return here to begin your training. I expected you to rise to the challenge. You'll find the grappling bow behind the statue near the stables. Well, I can certainly tell you what Sai has told me. When the Dragon Guard hunted dragons, they each crafted their own grappling bow. This one was found in the Dragon Guard's grave. Ready to train with the grappling bow? Use the grappling bow to get up to the roof of the training hall and light the brazier you find there. That will demonstrate your innate skill with the device. After that, talk to Sai and see if he's ready to decipher the maps. Start on the ledge of the building behind us. Merely follow the grappling points until you reach the roof of the training hall. Good luck, warrior. And please, try not to injure yourself.
This old warrior has deciphered the first map. It leads to the Windscour Temple, hidden atop the ruins of Hunding's Watch. I saw the light of the brazier. I take it you were able to utilize the grappling bow? Excellent. As the saying goes, a weapon is only as reliable as the soldier who wields it. With that being said, it would be best not to drop the device. It's incredibly old. Now, are you ready to depart for Windscour Temple? Anything we can use against the dragons. Tomes describing hunting techniques and strategies. Weapons. Honestly, whatever appears to be useful. If you spot something of value, let me know. Let's be on our way then. Kasura has agreed to let us borrow her horses. The sooner we search these Dragon Guard sanctuaries, the sooner we can uncover their secrets. I'll secure the horses while you go on ahead. To think that a Dragon Guard sanctuary was hidden beneath Hunding's watch all this time. It seems this sanctuary won't easily give up its secrets. Come, let us speak. It appears the sanctuary's archives are out of reach. There doesn't even appear to be a place to use the grappling bow. I don't know how to proceed. I agree. After all, with the proper application of will, the way always opens. Perhaps the answer lies in these statues. I am familiar with these personages. The statues represent the 4 greatest Grand Masters the Dragon Guard have ever known. Gellin Brawl, who helped establish the Order. Etienne Valusis, who chronicled their history, and so forth. A brazier stands before each. Perhaps if we were to light them, they would reveal a way forward. Though I also suspect there's a proper order to it all. Read each statue's plaque and see if they contain any clues. We honor you, Grand Masters of old. May your flames burn eternal. Did it. Look, a grapple point has appeared on the platform above. What an archive. If the Empire knew anything, it was the value of keeping good records. How goes the search? Come, tell me what you discovered so far. Have you found anything useful? Dragon hunting techniques, perhaps? Maybe even a weapon? The Horn of Jadari? This journal claims it's a dragon horn of great power, and the last of the original Dragon Guard went in search of it. Incredible. I thought dragon horns were merely legends, but according to this, at least one exists. Truly? That makes your experience invaluable to our efforts. Tell me, what does a dragon horn look like? How was it used? So the legends are true. Incredible. A dragon horn would give us the edge we desperately need to combat the dragon invasion of elsewhere. After all, a dragon is far easier to fight on the ground than in the sky. Storm Talon Temple. That's the location revealed by the second map. It's near the entrance to Afrin's Hold in Stormhaven. We should head there at once and see what we can find. So this is Storm Talon Temple. Seems more like a maze than a sanctuary. appears the sanctuary has fallen into ruin, blocking our path to the archives. As the Dragon Guards say, every path is worthy of pursuit, though it seems the path we seek is a rather tricky one. Why don't you try using your grappling bow? There may be a path forward that we just can't see from this vantage point. I suggest you pick a direction and see where it takes you. If you become stuck, feel free to return here and try again. Excellent work. Now see what you can find in the archives. Any luck over there? Were you able to find the Horn of Jadari? Interesting. We should prepare to face further challenges. Neither Windscour nor Stormtalon were easy to navigate. I suspect this next sanctuary will prove similarly difficult. Does the book indicate where this dark water is located? We can take the horses to Windhelm, and then search on foot from there. I don't see a way farther into the sanctuary. Perhaps you'll have better luck. No, that doesn't seem helpful. You should try looking somewhere else. Nothing useful yet? Grapple point. There's an urn beside it. Why don't you see what it contains? That's dragon bone powder. The ancient Dragon Guard used it in their ceremonies. Of course. The powder reveals a hidden path. Follow it, quickly! Another archive. No dragon horn in sight. Let's look around. Have you found something? Did you find anything? Something about the dragon horn? By Lecky's blade! Of all the possibilities I imagined, that was never among them. No matter the dangers, we must retrieve that dragon horn. The fate of Elsewhere depends on it. Did the journal indicate where Veloxin lairs? Such a journey requires planning and preparation. Let's return to the Abbey of Blades and check in with Kasura.
warrior returns. Was your search of the Dragon Guard Sanctuary successful? Dragon horn? I have heard of such relics in stories and legends. Stolen by a dragon. Well, Sai Sahan has always enjoyed a good challenge. How will you find this creature? A long way to go. But such a relic is what Sai was hoping to find when he set forth upon this path. May Leki watch over you, warrior. You and Sai both.
I assume you told Kasura of our adventure, warrior. When you brought the Dragon Guard Sanctuary maps to me, I had no idea what we would find. Hunting techniques, perhaps. Maybe a weapon or two. But the promise of a dragon horn. That's more than I dreamed possible after all this time. Those who risk nothing inadvertently risk it all. Either we face this single dragon to gain a dragon horn, or we face a horde without such a weapon at our side. But what's risk without reward? Here's something for the aid you provided thus far. The journals we discovered in the Dragon God Sanctuaries point to one obvious conclusion. The Horn of Jadari exists, but was stolen by the dragon Valoxan. We must enter the dragon's lair in southern Elsewhere and retrieve the horn. The journals indicated that the horn was indestructible. And Stendar knows that dragons are as close to immortal and unchanging as the earth and sky. Fate has placed the Horn of Jadari in our path for a purpose. I believe that with all my heart. Despite its age, the map included with the journal clearly shows where we must go. A dormant volcano in southern Elsewhere. I ask you, friend, will you make this journey with me? The horses will carry us to the nearest port. From there we can charter a boat and sail to southern Elsewhere. Thanks to the map you found in Darkwater Temple, it should be easy enough to find for Loxen's lair.
I pity elsewhere, but Valenwood has a dragon problem of its own. The dragon, Marsalok, is blighting land and threatening the green. As luck would have it, Sai Sahan and Blade Master Kasura have plans to repay a debt of pain to these dragons. I'm hoping he can spare some assistance with some plans of my own. Marsalok has a lot to answer for. Interesting choice of words there. As it happens, the dragon hasn't attacked us, but its presence is doing something unwholesome to the land. He's blighted an entire valley near Valenwood. We tried to handle it ourselves, but the army King Comoran sent to kill it hasn't returned, and it doesn't look like they're ever going to. Now we're weighing our options. One way or another, I'll come up with something. Sens Labors, I can put you to work! You can meet us out there after we finished here. Bring some friends, though. The more the merrier.
You look like you could give a Daedric Prince pause. Like your chances against a dragon. Marsalok is corrupting the green, and we are grasping at straws.
The horses will carry us to the nearest port. Dragon's lair should be nearby. Be on your guard, warrior. That Kashiti ruin in the distance. Fine place for a dragon to nest. Prepare yourself, warrior. Who knows what awaits us in there? Curious. Seems this place once served as a Kwama mine, though it appears abandoned now.
In the untold centuries.
You hide in the shadows, beast. Come fight us in the light!
You sound just like the dragon god who has graced these halls.
The dragon god who sought the horn of Jadari in ages past. May your light burn eternal, old warrior.
You seek the horn of my cowardly brother? Pathetic. Like the dragon god before you, death will be your only reward.
The horn of Jadari? Is that the horn of Aloxan's brother? It appears this soldier was killed by Kwama. It must have been a massive swarm.
pitiful dragon guard found only death in Meloxen's lair. Stay alert. I fear the beast lays a trap for us. Dragon's roar has stirred the Quama. Defend yourself! Dragon uses Quama as a form of defense. How cowardly. Step quickly. We don't want to be caught in the open.
Sept scales. A drawbridge blocks our way. See if you can find any clue as to how to operate the pulleys. Notice the pulleys? They should help us lower the drawbridge. Unfortunately, I'm not sure which combination of settings will open the way. See if you can find anything that could assist us. Try to lower the drawbridge, you say? Well, that certainly doesn't bode well for us. Tell me the riddle. The Horn of Jadari is just ahead. At last, the Horn of Jadari. Now we finally have a chance against this dragon threat. We have reclaimed the Horn of Jadari!
A dragon's horn will
To
be
arms!
given. Pity I don't share my brother's sentiment.
I'm going to blow the horn! To blow the horn!
Recall! 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 Roda! Recall! 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 Who's Roda? Recall! Lotzen is dead. We should return to the Abbey of Blades. A moment, if you please. Our battle against Veloxen left me quite exhausted. Return to the Abbey of Blades and let Kasura know that we succeeded. I will follow as soon as I can.
It is good to see you hale and whole, warrior. But where is Sai? Did something happen? You found the dragon horn. By Leki's perfect blade, that is good news. Thank you, warrior. You did far more than help Sai Sahan recover the wisdom of the Dragon Guard. Because of your efforts, he finally has a way to combat this dragon invasion.
I've returned, and I bring the dragon horn. Come, let us speak. Now that we have the Horn of Jadari, our true work begins. As the saying goes, strike when the opportunity appears, or stand by and do nothing. I can never do nothing. Most certainly. You saw how it knocked Veloxen out of the sky, granting us a significant advantage in battle. It's as indestructible as the journal says. It will prove invaluable in the battles to come. I just wish we knew the Horn's origin. Veloxen implied that the dragon horn was willingly given by another of its kind. But what manner of dragon would give away its own horn? And for what purpose? Well, perhaps things will become clearer with more study. I must train with the dragon horn and prepare for what lies ahead. And so must you, warrior. When the time comes, I will call for your aid. Together, we shall fight back against the dragons and drive them from elsewhere. This, I swear to you. When the Dragon Guard dies, we say a prayer. May your flame burn eternal. It's a promise to honor them, a desire for their legacy to live on. And it's an oath that we uphold, to never forget those who came before. An oath I will always honor. Reports tell me that the dragons have moved into southern elsewhere, ravaging towns and villages along the way. That is where I will go. And I'll send for you when I get there. We won't be alone. We'll rally others to our cause. Those willing to take up the mantle of the dragon hunters of old. It will be glorious. We still have so much to learn, though. So much to do to reignite the Dragon Guard. I've been far too busy. Between helping rebuild the Abbey and finding a way to fight the dragon invasion and elsewhere, there's been little time to socialize. Yes, she did. For a time. I hoped she would join me in my efforts to reclaim the wisdom of the Dragon Guard. But something else called my Snow Lily away. Something Lyris felt she had to do. I'm afraid she did not say. Perhaps it was something she wished to do alone, or perhaps she was afraid I would forsake my duties and join her. Well, she did promise to write, though. I eagerly await her letters.
Greetings, Walker. Have you a moment to speak? By Mara's eyes, if it's not the hero of Riverhold. Mizik Thunderboots, at your service. This one would offer to buy you a drink, but he has caught the scent of a most curious investigation. No time for taverns while this one's on duty. An abduction, to be precise. No ransom, no demands, no obvious suspects or motives. Just a heartbroken father and a missing young lady. But that is why Mizik was hired, yes? He steps in when all other justice fails. Correct. This one searches for Xynthia, daughter of Ishu. However, Mizik's inquiries have led to nothing but dead ends. And with the young lady's safety on the line, the sooner this investigation is solved, the better. A chance meeting turned fated partnership. Fortuitous for this one, yes? You should speak to Ishu first. See if he has any new information for us. His house is just south of the marketplace. Can't miss it. Mizik Thunderboots is a Khajiit of action. Well, he does not wish to merely boast of his prowess. This one aims to prove such skill. Just as soon as we have a little more to go on, of course. It is a good name, no? Mizik Thunderboots. When scoundrels hear the footsteps of his boots, they will quake in fear. Oh, well, perhaps you are right. Not very subtle, is it? This one will confess, while Mizik is confident in his skills of investigation, he struggles with the more alarming situations his line of work often entails. Such as when large people threaten him with very sharp daggers. Not this investigation, thank the moons. Well, not yet. That is where your expertise comes along, yes? Your bravery. This one's cunning, and the few good leads are all we need to solve this mystery. He is a humble Khajiit of moderate wealth. Seems to keep to himself. No enemies, no debts. No reason why he would be targeted. Yet just a few days ago, his daughter, Xynthia, was taken in the dead of night. Most strange, no? If Mizik did not know better, he would say that it was an intimidation tactic. Perhaps even an act of revenge against Ishu. But who would wish this cruelty against such a kind Khajiit? They outright dismissed Ishu's claim, believing that the young lady has merely run away. A most vexing call, truth be told. From all that Ishu has told this one, Xynthia is a most sweet Khajiit, not one to make her father worry.
Are you here about this one, Xynthia? Has she been found? Yes, of course. Xynthia was taken in the dead of night. This one has received no ransom, yet he fears the worst. She is a very beautiful Jakajit, you see. Ishu believes that the captors may mean to sell her. Xynthia has a long, glossy coat, soft as the richest of silks. Her eyes are bright yellow, like the honeyed moons. Ah, and she always wears a gold necklace. No suspects, no, but someone who may have spotted something? There is a wood elf who tends to stay up well into the night, always singing and dancing, that one. If anyone saw something unusual the night Xynthia was taken, it might be her. The wood elf's name is Mel? Yes, that's it. Mel the Musical, she always calls herself. You can usually find her toward the north end of town near the Sand Gardens. Ishu will pray for your swift success. To help find this one's darling Xynthia, Ishu will answer any question you ask. Mel arrived in Riverhold a few seasons ago. Makes a living begging for gold as she sings and dances. She has woken up Ishu more than once banging that drum of hers. Still, we chat occasionally. She is kind, if not a bit eccentric. Mel does not have a home in the traditional sense, so you will often find her sleeping in the stables and bathing in the public fountains. But who is Ishu to judge, eh? We all have our oddities. Xynthia is a willful child. A tad spoiled, this one admits. Ishu dotes on her. The town guard, they do not understand. They say, oh, perhaps she has wandered off, they say. Perhaps she is lost. Such foolishness. How can they be so uncaring? Thank you, thank you. May bright moons light your path. Ishu will prepare a feast for Xynthia's return, yes? Perhaps some fish. Ah, yes, fish is her favorite. This one can already hear her contented purrs.
Why a sleepy town like Riverhold would need an investigator, I'll never know. And yet Mystic Thunderboots has set himself up in the banished regrets, just raring to solve a case. Tch, what a fool.
We don't have a choice, Izanji.
And what? You expect us to just stroll into an Akaviri crypt? Be reasonable.
Well, if we don't recover those mural pieces, who will? Welcome to the House of Histories. You'll find no grander collection of curiosities and memorabilia in all of Elsewhere. theft. An ancient mural called the Ridana di Renada, otherwise known as the Song of Kingdoms. It chronicles the time when elsewhere were 16 united kingdoms working in harmony. Unfortunately, it was shattered when the kingdoms entered into conflict. Yes, into exactly 16 pieces. My brother and I found and restored each and every one. And then, just as we were about to put all the pieces together again, they were stolen. Who would even do such a thing? Thank you for offering to help. Oddly enough, the thief did leave a note mentioning a grave of snake men. I suspect it refers to the tomb of the serpents, an old Akaviri crypt. Hopefully that is where you will find the missing pieces. Yes, it is. But that clue is all we have at the moment. It actually reminds me of the old Khajiiti legend, Rajin and a Trail of Ink. Perhaps our thief is a fan of the trickster god. Wouldn't be too surprising. He was a renowned thief who possessed the Ring of Khajiiti, which allowed him to be invisible, silent, and quick. He ascended to become an immortal trickster god and patron to thieves. Rajin and the Trail of Ink is but one of his many legends. Many moons ago, when Rajin was still but a thief and not yet a god, he met a beautiful soldier named Captain Nasuna. He was captivated by Nasuna's beauty and skill, but she scorned all of his advances. So, Rajin set out to woo her. Nasuna guarded a merchant's estate. 5 times Rajin entered this estate, stealing an item and hiding it elsewhere. He left clues behind for the captain, daring her to recover what he stole. And each time she prevailed, for she was as clever as he. Rajin was proving himself. By stealing these items, he showed his cunning. By hiding them away, he showed his honor. By leaving clues, he showed his respect. And it worked. Nasuna was won over and agreed to be his lover. As I've said, many thieves wish to emulate the great Rajin. Leaving clues at the scene of the crime is one way to demonstrate their cleverness. Perhaps it is so with whoever stole the mural. Let us hope.
You have agreed to help us. Oh, thank John and Jode. Patrons have been few and far between of late. We need that mural if the House of Histories is to keep its doors open.
Oh, what do you know? A customer. Salutations. Mel the Musical at your service. Are you here for a performance? Ishu, the Khajiit with all the cats? That old coot is sweet as honey jagger, but a bit off if you ask me. Shame about his daughter, though. No one should have to go through that. If you're looking for trouble, Tajiri's your girl. I've seen her with all sorts of indecent folk lately. Always shifty eyes on those ones, I tell you. She tends to spend a lot of time behind the stables lately, if you catch my drift. Very good, then. And hey, if you're looking for some entertainment for your next soiree, make sure to seek me out. You won't regret it. She's a gambler with a lot of friends in a lot of places. And you know, who am I to judge? Business is business, after all. But as of late, she just seems to be getting more and more suspicious. In fact, there's been a lot of that in Riverhold. Suspicious activity. People who I ain't ever seen before, going about town at all hours. I mean, I may stay up well past most people's bedtime, but I'm a musician, comes with the territory. And these new folks aren't bards, that's for sure.
Saw you heading this way. Find anything of interest? Oh, the stables, Developed a sudden interest in horsemanship, Walker? Oh, looks to be a coat. A napping badger, eh? Sounds familiar. Ah, yes! The sleeping badger is a rock formation, just south of Riverhold. But this bit about the sweet trip, that Mizik doesn't understand. Mizik will mark it on your map, Walker. Feel free to lead the way. And perhaps this is a good time to mention that this one is not so skilled in violent situations, should trouble find us. But that is where your expertise comes in handy, yes?
Destroy any who disturb me. You suffer for disrupting my work.
Mizik is all right. Apologies. This one is fine. Music needs to stop doing that. It's all right. Apologies. This one is fine. Skooma. These vagrants must be smugglers. That necklace must belong to Zinthia.
This one wonders if the meat of
Come,
shaved skin...
let us speak away from this place.
Khajiit does not like growing.
missing daughter, a hidden note, and now a band of skooma smugglers. This investigation becomes messier with every step we take. This one is unsure, though it is possible Issue may be hiding something. Still, our priority should be to investigate the gambler who wrote that note. Tajiri was her name, yes? That does ring a bell or two. If Tajiri is a gambler, it is likely we can find her at a local tavern. Mizik will head there at once and see what he can dig up. Meet this one at the Banished Regrets Inn.
The Knights of the Flame say you saved their order. That's high praise.
Stay low in the grass. We've got ruddy fangs up on the hillside, and probably more down on the other side of the cliff. The ruddy fangs are the biggest bandit pride this side of the Scar, and probably south of the Scar too. This bunch has been preying on refugees fleeing the dragons, as if they haven't lost enough. Shook me down too, bastards. I'm not hiding, I'm waiting. Thought I might sneak into camp at an opportune moment and get back what's mine. But I've been out here for nearly a day now. I should probably just get back to Riverhold before I pass out. You do that? It's a backpack, Imperial Legion make. It was my husband's. It's just some personal items, things he had before there were damn dragons. Sorry. I'm tired and hungry. I should go. Find me at the inn in Riverhold, and thanks. Finally bringing my husband home. As much of him as there was. I had to travel all the way to Rimmen. That Tharn witch wouldn't even return his remains to the Legion. Queen? Tuh, she's a traitor. She brought him to elsewhere. Led an army here to restore order for the Empire. She just wanted a kingdom of her own. He died protecting people who'd spit on his grave because of her, if he had one. I'll never forgive Euraxia Tharn for that. A handful of gold. I don't care about that. I just want my husband's things. The dragons already took his life. I'll be damned if these thieving scum take his memory. North of here, towards Cyrodiil. It's a trade town close to the border. Pretty quiet. Or it was. I'm not sure anywhere is quiet anymore.
I always forgive my enemies. Remember their names.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You and I need to speak, now! My heart is heavy.
Hello, my friend, come take us.
I must admit, you and Thunderboots make quite the charming pair.
And watching you both play at being investigators? Why, it's been sleek entertainment, truly. But now you tread upon sands that are best left undisturbed. Take it as a friendly warning. I hear that you seek Ishu's daughter, yes? I find that very funny. After all, everyone in Riverhold knows that she left town many years ago. Then Ishu has become senile in his old age. I speak truthfully. He had one daughter, and she is gone. Has been gone for many years. Tell this to your partner, and drop your investigation. Now.
I see, my friends, that you have pluck, but you're short on luck.
Mizahen once studied with the moon singers of Ralka, but telling stories didn't suit him. This one is much too literal for such work as that.
You took your chance on a furtive glance at cards that couldn't compete. But these cat's eyes, they tell no lies. Next time be more discreet. Take a gamble, whoops, you're done. Now you're broke, tuck tail and run.
Hey, you came. Did the Ruddy Fang still have my things? This means a lot, really. I don't have much left to remember him by. The things in this pack and the condolences of the Legion paymaster every month when I collect his due. Take the gold. I don't need it. You've more than earned it. I didn't really expect anyone to help a Legion widow out here. The Khajiit don't have much love for the Empire these days. Besides, they've got enough of their own problems. Dragons and usurpers and undead. This whole world's coming apart. I'm going to make a small memorial shrine over my hearth, if I still have a hearth. I won't know until there's a break in the fighting long enough that I can get home. I barely avoided a battle between the Dominion and the Covenant on the way here.
People keep asking if I'd like some meat. You know what? I would. And don't add none of that moon sugar syrup to it, neither.
Mizik is the model patron, as always. Keeps his room clean, pays for everything in advance, and it doesn't hurt that he's awfully handsome, yes? What?
You look as good as moon sugar. Careful, or Tajiri might lick you.
Vistas unfold before me now, sharing their secrets joyfully. Their bright in hue, yet darkly dire,
bright moon look over us today, Walker. Tajiri has just settled down for a round of gambling. While Mizik distracts her, you can sneak into her home and search for another clue. It's just a bit north of the tavern. Forgive this one if he's skeptical. Even if this stranger spoke truly, why then would Issue hire Mizik? Why would Tajiri have written that note? Why would we find a gold necklace in the smuggler's camp? Then perhaps this stranger simply wishes to confuse us. Throw us off the scent. Besides, we cannot stop now. Not when an innocent young lady may still be at risk. Let us investigate Tajiri before she retires for the night.
Why, hello, sweet meat. Care to play a game with old Tajiri?
Of course. Though this one will admit he is not very skillful.
Tajiri, is that you? We need more groceries for the house. There's barely anything to eat. And would it kill you to tidy up our room once in a while? The upstairs is a mess.
Over here. This one hopes you have found something of interest, Walker. Mizik cannot afford to keep Tajiri distracted any longer. And he means that most literally. Blue serpents? 4-pointed paint? If Mizik had to guess, this poem describes drop-off locations for illicit goods. Smugglers often hide them in plain sight. First a sleeping badger, now a blue serpent. Must represent another landmark. That's it! The river is often busy with trade. A perfect place to smuggle goods. Let us search along the river and see if we find any barrels or crates with markings. Hopefully we'll find something that will lead us to Xynthia. Mizik will admit this case is heading in a rather unexpected direction, which is a bit worrisome if he's being honest. It is strange, isn't it? With an operation as intricate as this, it seems odd that these smugglers would target a Khajiit of such limited wealth. This one agrees, but let us first check these smuggler caches. The note said that the goods were leaving town today, yes? That could include Xynthia.
Yeah.
Dark moons! Mizik needs to stop doing that. That painted mark seems curious, no? Oh, if Mizik sees a painted mark ahead. Could that be the painted mark we seek? Could that be the painted mark we seek? Somerset wine, eh? Not illegal, but incredibly taxed. Mizik has a feeling this bottle didn't find its way to... That painted mark seems curious, no?
Yeah.
Mizik sees a painted mark ahead. A very pretty scarf for smugglers to wear, yes? Perhaps it belongs to Xynthia. Apologies. This one is fine. Mizik is all right. That mark has 4 points, like the note says. This barrel smells sweet, but Also rotten. What could it be? Dark moons. They're smuggling spoiled moon sugar. Very unsafe for anyone to eat. Speak to Ishu and see what he knows of these smugglers. Then let us meet back at the tavern. We have much to discuss.
Yes, any news of this one, Cynthia? Smuggler camps? Dark moons? Yes, the necklace and scarf belong to Cynthia. Have the smugglers sold her? By Joan and Joe, please say it isn't so. No, of course not. Ishu has only lived a good, honest life. Please, you must find this one's Jakajit. She is so young and innocent and probably terrified without her papa. Whatever will Ishu do if his Cynthia is harmed? May bright moons watch over you. Oh, really? Well, Ishu supposes his family has grown over the years. But how could this one not seek their companionship? Their little faces, their tiny paws. His darlings love him completely, demanding little but affection and food. And belly rubs. But of course, mostly. She and Medwick don't always get along, but Medwick is older and doesn't always like to play or be teased. And just between us, Tak-Tak can be a bit of a Jekuzit sometimes. I think she's jealous.
Yeah.
I warned you, Thunderboots. And so the other thorn in my paw arrives. I told you, did I not? First time was a warning. Now it is a threat. You both leave town. No more investigations. No more sticking your snouts where they don't belong. Collect your things and leave. That again? I told you Ishu's daughter left Riverhold years ago. He's just a delusional old Khajiit caught up in a fantasy. And for this you tried to ruin my little operation? Of all the things! Who I am does not matter. What I can do to you, on the other hand, should be of immediate concern. You either leave Riverhold on your own, or you leave in pieces. Your choice.
So it appears that your strange friend is Rideza the rogue. Good to know. Let us just say that her reputation precedes her. Well, threats to our life aside, it seems that we finally have a perpetrator. Now we just need to follow her. We are investigators, are we not? You must search for a trail. With any luck, she'll lead you straight to Ishu's daughter. Meanwhile, Mizik will alert the proper authorities. We must follow the jelly trail. Quick!
Those were fresh sugar claws! I didn't even see who ran into me.
There! Rideza must have stepped on the jelly from the sugar claws.
You must follow her trail while this one alerts the guards.
Help me.
Yes? Anything I can... Can I help you?
Kashid's family died when the plague spread through Senegal.
told you! Now the claws come out! Kill these muskars!
I need healing! Spread out!
Curse your meddling!
Rid of the rogue. Caught at last.
Did you find my daughter? Where is she?
Here! Your daughter is right here, you old fool!
Rideza! You're the one who stole Cynthia? Oh, this one's poor Jakashit.
Ha! Feeling a little jealous? To go so far as to steal your father's pet.
Well, it seems that our investigation has come to a successful close. Though not quite in a way that Mizik was expecting. In hindsight, it makes sense. When you were told that Ishu's daughter left town years ago, Rideza must have been speaking of herself. Still, to have been chasing Ishu's pet this whole time. This is true. Because of our dedication, Riverhold no longer has to deal with these vile smugglers. And let us hope it stays that way, yes? Mizik just needs to collect our reward. Why don't we meet at the Banished Regrets? Drinks are on Mizik. Just as soon as he is paid, of course.
You know, I wasn't too sure about Thunderboots when he first came to town. Thought he would just cause more trouble than he solved. But thanks to the both of you, we can finally put Rideza the Rogue behind bars. No, not too long. But it never takes much time for these kind of operations to wreak havoc on towns like Riverhold. I'm just glad we could nip it in the bud. Rideza herself, however, has been troubling elsewhere for years now. Moldy moon sugar by itself will do little more than make a Khajiit ill. The trouble is when that same moon sugar is distilled into tainted skooma. It's an unfortunately common practice, given that moldy moon sugar is so cheap. Most likely. It's a vile thing to sell, though. Tainted skooma causes some of the most horrific reactions I've ever seen. Days of vivid nightmares and awful pain, often followed by an agonizing death. A truly horrible way to go.
Ishu is so pleased that you were able to find Cynthia. Finally, this one's family can be reunited. What do you mean? Ishu gave you every detail about his precious Cynthia that he could think of. Was there something that made you think his daughter was a Khajiit? Well, no matter. Cynthia is safe and Mizik will have his payment. Ridazar has become just as greedy and cruel as her mother. How can Ishu accept such a daughter, especially one who has already caused him to suffer? Ridazar will face the justice of Riverhold's guards, as she deserves. If she wants to make peace, Ishu will make peace. After all, a quiet life for him and his family is all this one asks for. If Ridazar wishes to be a part of that, she may be, but it is up to her.
You think that Ridazar the Rogue is finished? It's only a matter of time before I'm back on the streets. And when that happens, you best watch your back. When I came back to Riverhold, I went to see my fool of a father. It's been years since Mother and I left, and I was feeling sentimental, I suppose. Stupidly sentimental. He didn't even recognize me. Of the cat? No, I just wanted to make him suffer. He's always been obsessed with his damn pets. That's why Mother left him, you know. He's so caught up in his little family that he didn't have time for us. For me. Maybe you're right. Just another delinquent with papa problems. Isn't that just the way?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Family reunited, a smuggling ring destroyed, and the gratitude of all of Riverhold. Not a bad start to a partnership, yes? Mizik was even able to secure a hefty bonus, thanks to the generosity of Captain Kahiri. Of course. Your share as promised. After all, Music would never have been able to solve this investigation without your aid. Pleasure working with you, Walker. Do not be a stranger, yes? A safe town, a happy client, and an investigation expertly solved. And a five-claw partnership, if Music does say so himself. What more could this one ask for? After such a successful investigation, Music is hopeful that more clients will come forth. We live in turbulent times, Walker. Dragons, tyrants, necromancy. There is no end to Elsewhere's suffering as of late, and yet so much is overlooked. Those in power have priorities, and the petty problems of the common folk, they tend to be on the very bottom of this list. That is why we must look after each other. If Music does not offer his help, who will? Of course. But first and foremost, it is Music's passion. That is why this one takes the name Thunderboots. If he cannot work in the name of justice, then he will not work at all. This, he swears. Music's investigations take him many places, so it is hard to call one town home. But he's enjoyed his time in the Riverhold. He has a comfortable tavern room and a steady supply of clients. Well, a steadier supply of clients. Honestly? Just the one. A bard's flute was stolen while he was drinking in the tavern. He was very certain another musician had stolen it out of jealousy. Quickly, it turned out to be the innkeeper who stole the flute. This bard could not play in tune to save his life, and it was driving away business. So, Music suggested that the bard seek another tavern. A happy solution for everyone involved. After such a successful investigation, Music is hopeful that more clients will come forth. We live in turbulent times, Walker. Dragons, tyrants, necromancy. There is no end to Elsewhere's suffering as of late, and yet so much is overlooked. Those in power have priority.
She'll stay